Alright guys, so I think I'm ready to get started back up on this project again. The previous owner had this 9-pin relay for the emergency flasher and the turn signal and all that stuff. I want to say they fried it or something happened to it. It looks pretty burnt up down here, and it's cut. And nothing was connected to it. It was basically just screwed up in there. It was bypassed basically. So what the previous owner did was they put an updated relay here for the emergency and the turn signal, and along with that they also had this new switch, and a bunch of the wiring up here was all rerouted over to accept this connector here. But I really didn't want this. I just wanted it to be original, just the way it came from factory. So deleted that guy, and I got a new box right there, that relay. So since I replaced that, I also did notice that this wasn't working anymore. They call this hand dimmer relay, I think, and it's used to flicker your high beam on and off. But I got a replacement for that, and I also got a replacement for this. The switch was working and everything, but mechanically it was pretty busted. When I took this steering column apart, I did notice this one, you're supposed to have two, one here and one here, which I have over here. Let me grab it. So this one here is supposed to have this here, like that. Let me actually put it on there. See that? And then I even have the spring for it. Basically it was kind of just hanging around in there, so when I took it apart it came off. The rivet that goes right here broke off. So what I wanted to do was drill a hole through here, tap it with a screw, and use that so that it holds this in place. And then I can still put, oh, it's actually upside down, but you get the point. But as I was drilling this, my drill bit broke off in there. I tried to drill it from the back. I should have been using a drill press, but I didn't have one at the time. So I just used a regular hand drill, and that's pretty much how it broke. Fortunately, I found both of them on the Samba, so those just came in. Let's go check them out. This one was pretty easy to find. Part number 311941583A. This one should work for this year. So we're gonna put that in. This is the other turn signal. I got really lucky with this one. This one is a K brand. You can tell from right here, there's a K with a circle around it. I think the other one says like SWF. Basically, they're not interchangeable. So my column up there is the K brand, so I had to get a K brand. And it turns out these are pretty difficult to find. I had been wanting to replace this part for a really long time, and the only one that I was able to find before was one in like Egypt or something, and it was like almost $300. Just the other day, I guess this one popped up. It was up in Sacramento, so it got here pretty quick. It was like 2 days or something down to LA. I mean, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. The wires are cut, obviously. I'm sure they did that because they didn't want to take the whole column apart. But these connectors here look fine. The switch, I'm hoping, is okay. I opened it up, and it's just a spring basically, and it's just 2 points touching each other. But I did bust out my multimeter. I kind of wanted to run a continuity test on this just to make sure these are making good enough contact to start the high beams. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, but I might as well while it's out of the car. I already have everything labeled. I'm literally just gonna take them off one by one and replacing this with this. Also, I did make sure that the battery is disconnected. So I've got the battery connected, and dome light is on, and it turns off if I actually, this right here, flip this switch. Oh no, actually the other door is open. So as I press this, On, off, on, off. So, when I put this guy in and started it, it actually wasn't working still. But then, I think I found the problem. If you go back here, there's this solid brown wire. If you follow this, actually I labeled it. It's a fuse box ground, which is this guy here. This connects to the bottom of this panel right here, grounding this entire unit here. And I tried hitting this guy, wasn't working. I made this little harness here. It's kind of difficult to see, but it's the black and red wire right here. This the ground wire here connects to here, goes to the fuse box ground, and then just extends over to another connector. Now that I ground this, I hit the switch. You hear that? And the purple light turns on. It only works if I ground this, which is gonna get grounded as soon as I screw this back in place. Now to work on this guy. Before I get started on working on the other turn signal, I did want to show that all my wiring works with the turn signal and the emergency light switch. Basically all this does is obviously just go up and down, up for right and down for left. What that does is these connections here, they'll just make contact for here and here and here and here. What I'm gonna do is just kind of jump the wires here. Try to see if I can do this one-handed. See that? Did you hear that jump? There we go. So that's right, and this is left. I know here it's showing both. That's just the way these cards were made. Whether you're making a left or a right, both of the signals on the gauge will turn on. So the way this works is that spring in the middle here, it latches onto this little pin here, goes right here and here, and the little triangle thing goes right in the middle here. And so as you go left and right, it kind of just like swings this up and down like that and like that. These hold right here, and that's as you turn it, it kind of latches in place here. And the way that cancels is on the back of the steering wheel. That's why if you take out the steering wheel, you'll see this extra little piece of metal sticking out. As you put the steering wheel in, that goes here. When you make a right, it's gonna cancel one side. When you make a left, it cancels the other side. So that's how this whole mechanism works. Also, there should be a spring right here, which I have in that little tote there. And then that kind of rests right here, just so you kind of have a little bit of tension going up and down. Also, let me show you the emergency light. That works. That works. All my lights outside, they all work. This was really, really tricky because I did cancel the one that came with the car. I couldn't reuse this switch into the original system. See how this has 9 connectors? Basically, this replaced that 9-pin relay. But because I canceled this, I had to get a new switch. Turns out this switch itself is actually really hard to find. I found one here, but it turns out this is for a bug. Part number 1119535505. Yeah, this didn't work for my system for some reason. Maybe it just didn't work, I don't know. But I got this one also from eBay. That took a bit of research to find out that I needed to get this different part number. I can't remember what part number it is. I would have to take it out, and maybe I'll link it later. Yeah, also found out this switch itself needed to get grounded for it to even work. Similar to how this is grounded to that. Now that works, so we're good. I think this video is actually going to be a lot longer than I thought. But yeah, I'll just kind of show you how this replacement fits up to that. And then as far as me wiring this up and testing to see if the switch works and everything, I'll probably do that in another video. So yeah, looking at this, they're identical basically. These are supposed to be here along with that spring. This one here is missing. We have the connectors here and there which slide on these here. A little area for the spring here and there. I did notice that this new one is missing the screw right there, but I'll probably just pop it off this one here. On the back side of it, I did notice that this is part number is like /G, and this one here is /C. If you know why that is, I guess just let me know, but they look identical to me, so it should work. It goes here. Those pins in there, you just gotta make sure they slide and click in place. Because I don't have the spring that goes here, it's not gonna have that return action. You can kind of see how it slides in place like that and goes back and forth just like that. That's pretty much what I'm working with right now. When I get some time, I'll go ahead and get this one all cleaned up and tested to make sure that works, and then I'll wire it up. Unfortunately, there's not really an easy or clean way for me to remove this original one. I'm gonna have to take this apart here and slide this out, but I'm gonna have to go through. You saw the wiring I had here earlier for the ground one, and then the other one that goes around through the back over here. I'm gonna have to cut somewhere here and just splice this other wire in. It does look like it's already been cut, so I won't feel as bad, but it does kind of suck that I'm probably gonna have to chop it off. I'll go ahead and work on that another day. Thanks guys.